Hello everyone, this is Raja Ramesh and welcome back to TypeScript and Playwright Journey. In this video, we will learn about objects in TypeScript. Before diving into TypeScript object, we will see what an object is. Observe the background of this presentation. We are seeing different things. We have pencil, book, folder and table. All of these has some details like pencil has its brand, lead size, color, length, etc. And book has title, who wrote that, number of pages, like that. Similarly, holder has color, height, weight, etc. And table has what material it is made up of, color of the table, size, and so on. So everything we are seeing here has some details, and if we want to save those details, we may need to use different variables like brand of pencil, lead size of that pencil, color of pencil, length of pencil, etc. Instead of writing these details separately, we can group them together. This is exactly what an object is doing in the programming. It organizes related data inside a single unit. So what is object in simple words? Think of an object as a container and what it contains. It contains different properties. And what are those properties? These properties are some details about that object. In more simpler terms, an object is a collection of related data stored in a structured way. Now let's see how an object looks like in TypeScript. Open your Visual Studio Code and create a new file and name that as objectsdemo.ts. And I copied some code which I paste here and create an object called books. So this is a book object usually look likes which has title, author and number of pages, and these are the values. So instead of storing all these properties separately, all these are grouped under a single name called book, and we are calling this as an object. We will make this object more better by providing data type for properties. This ensures that our object follows a strict format and prevents errors. So while declaring book, we provide more details here. Title as string, author as string again, pages as number. So now we have book object which has three properties: title as a string, author as a string, and pages as a number. So if we try to provide any invalid value, we'll see errors like book.pages equals to, if we try to save some string, it will not accept. And if you see the error, type string is not assignable to type number. Now we will see the concept of type aliases for objects. So instead of repeating object structures, we can use type aliases to create reusable types. Let us understand this. Without type alias, even we have an object called book, we are free to create another book object like this. So this is a new book. I'll call this as book 1 and now book 2 only with these two properties. See, we don't have any issue, but there is no consistency in creating different objects of similar type. So in order to enforce some commonality in creating similar type of objects, we can create type aliases. We will see implementing this for our book object. For that, before we create any object for book, we will create type using type keyword. Type and name of the type is book equal to the type body. The type body should contain what are the properties that a book type should have and what are the data types. So we already have title as string, author as string, pages as number. To create an object for this type book, we will do that by writing let name of the object and the type is book equals to, the values should be provided in the braces like this itself. But if you see here, we get an error. If you mouse over, we are seeing the type is missing the following properties from type book: title, author, pages. So by creating a type over here, we already enforced what all the properties an object of this book type should have. So all these are the properties a book object should have. So we have to provide values, otherwise it will give error. So I copy values from here and paste it over here, the error will be gone. Even if one of the property is missing, it will complain. If we comment out pages, we get an error again. So this is the advantage we got by using the type alias. Whenever we want to create objects of books, users should follow the format of the type. They have to provide all the properties which are defined inside the type. There are some situations where user wants to avoid the error even if any of the properties are missing while declaring the objects. We achieve that using optional properties. Let's see how to make a property optional. In our book type, we would like to make pages as optional. It is as simple as putting a question mark along with that property. Now pages became an optional property. Let us create another object B2 and don't give pages. It should not give any error. So even if we comment pages, we don't see any error. This is how optional properties work. Now let us see read-only properties. As the name says, read-only properties are read-only. We cannot change the values of the properties that are marked as read-only. So the value whatever we store while creating an object, it will be final. We cannot do further modifications to that. We will see that in an example. For this, in our type book, add one more property to test the read-only. Read-only and the name of the property may be some test property. Name that as test and string. Because we added a new property, these are giving some error. Provide value for test, some empty string over here, and test, some empty string. For the object p1, I'll make the value of test as test value. It means we have provided the value of property test as test value while creating the object. And later if we try to reassign that value by b1 dot test equals to some other value, we are seeing some error. Cannot assign to test because it is a read-only property, which says the property which is created as read-only will be assigned only once in its lifetime. That is when creating the object, and it is not possible for reassignment. This is how we use read-only. Along with these, we also have another concept called methods. We will discuss that in different video. With this, we can conclude the concept of basic objects in TypeScript. Just to recap the things we learned, objects store multiple related values together, and we use explicit types for safer object handling. Use type aliases to reuse object structures. We can use optional properties when some values may be missing, and read-only properties to prevent unwanted changes. Let's meet in our next video. Till then, keep practicing on objects. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe.